Hi, Wyatt. Let me get settled here. Sorry, this light is so bright there. All right, this is our third reading, and we were in the math class the last time, and Mr. Blaine, the math teacher, was talking. Oh gosh, sorry. I gotta set my timer here. Okay. He was talking about a quest. And he said, ever hear of the quest for happiness or a quest for justice? Buried treasure sounds a little more exciting, said Sam. Maybe, but what about a quest for the truth? Perhaps that was really what Sir Galahad's goal was, to demystify the miraculous. What if he was looking for the Grail, that miraculous vessel, to show that it was just a cup? The boys looked at the teacher with furrowed brows. Geez, Mr. Blaine, you sure know how to take the fun out of a good stories, said Robbie Dean Meyer, a red-haired kid I'd sat by in Latin. And besides, isn't this math class? Precisely. So what does this have to do with math? Said Mr. Blaine. What is the holy grail of mathematics? Something that is so mysterious that it has to be considered by many almost miraculous. Something woven throughout the world of mathematics. A number that is nothing less than ever-ending, eternal. Several hands shot up in the last. Oh dear, I'm sorry, Wyatt. Several hands shot up with the last clue. Preston Townsend? Well, that would be pi, sir, answered an athletic-looking boy in the second row. His hair was precisely combed, and the way he sat back in his chair, poised with pencil in hand, he looked like he was about to call an important meeting to order. I figured his father must be a banker or a politician, or maybe the governor of the great state of Maine. Yes, pi, the holy grail of mathematics. That mysterious number that has entranced mathematicians for millennia. It originated with the Babylonians, was used by the Greeks in measuring the earth, was thought to be a miraculous number by some, and the work of the devil by others. So what is the number pi? Robbie Dean? Well, that's a trick question, Mr. Blaine. Everyone knows that pi starts with 3.14 and keeps on going. We all had to memorize the first 100 digits last year, but pi is, the whole class joined him in saying, a never-ending, never-repeating number. See? Everyone knows that, concluded Robbie Dean. You mean everyone has accepted that as fact, countered Mr. Blaine. We shifted in our seats, unsure of what he meant. Alongside Sir Galahad, I believe we can add another name to the list of great seekers. His name is Professor Douglas Stanton. He's a mathematician at Cambridge who is on a quest of his own. He has spent much of his career studying this number and has a theory that, contrary to popular belief, pi is not a never-ending number. That yes, it is an amazing number that has over 700 digits currently known, and thousands more that haven't been calculated yet. But he believes it will in fact, end. Mr. Blaine brushed the chalk from his fingers. Why do I mention this today? Because this year we are going to embark on a quest of our own to expand our minds, to challenge what we think we know, and to push the boundaries of mathematics. If pi, the most venerable number, can be proven to end, what else are we blindly believing that might be put to the test? So, Mr. Blaine loosened his tie. Let's get down to business at hand. Open your textbooks to page 1, and let's begin. I glanced behind me, but Early's desk was empty, and the classroom door quietly shut. Chapter 3. Walking into the cafeteria that first day, I remembered the headmaster's words of advice about sitting with a group in the lunchroom. As much as I would have preferred to be by myself right then, I made my way through the lunch line, picked up my tray of meatloaf, green beans, and Jell-O with banana slices, and then ventured over to a table of boys I recognized from some of my classes. One boy, it was chubby Sam Feeney, moved over easy enough as he continued the conversation. Anybody who thinks you can outrun a cutter with a gig is a pinhead. Let's ask the new kid. Baker, what's faster, a cutter or a gig? I had no idea what they were talking about, so I took the safe way out. I shrugged and said, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Well, what about the oars? Said Robbie Dean. Do you prefer whiffs, worries, or rum-tums? Oh, whiffs or worries usually, but rum-tums do in a pinch. They looked at me steadily, I'm sure wondering what to make of me, when Preston Townsend said, So, what brings an inlander like you to Maine? The way he asked the question, I decided his dad was probably a lawyer instead of the governor. I felt my face get hot. Oh, I just needed a change of scenery, I guess, was my weak reply. I hear it's so flat in Kansas that you can see all the way to the next state in every direction, Sam said. Is that true? I wouldn't know, I said. What with the waving wheat and the brilliant sunsets, I guess we don't bother to look too far away. I was putting up a good front, but my diversionary lines were running out. One more question and my jitters would probably show through in either spilled milk or dripping sweat. Thinking fast, I decided to shift the focus to someone else's strangeness. So what's with the kid who never shows up to class? I asked. Early Auden, Preston answered. Not much to tell. His dad was on the board of trustees, had a heart attack, and died. So now the kid gets a free ride here, but he picks and chooses what classes he wants to show up for. Sometimes he takes a seat and then leaves, as soon as the teacher says something he disagrees with. He's so weird that nobody does anything about it. Yeah, Sam piped up. Last year, he walked out of biology class and never came back, just because Mr. Nelson said there are no venomous snakes in Maine. Early insisted there are still timber rattlesnakes up north and walked out. How come he's so sure there are timber rattlesnakes, I asked. Who knows? He's all fire sure about most things. Sometimes he has these weird fits when his eyes go blank and he kind of twitches. They think having those fits messed up his brain somehow. The bell rang, ending up further discussion about the odd boy. But I knew there had to be more to the story than that. See you at PE, Baker, and don't forget your rum-tums. Preston smirked as he got up from the table. Coach Baynard stood at the deep end of the indoor pool, light reflecting off the water, which was in turn splashing ripples of light on the tile walls. The air was thick and moist, with the sharp scent of chlorine. He gave his whistle a firm blast that echoed around the room. Boys in black swim trunks lined up, displaying an assortment of bare legs. Long, short, mostly skinny, a few chunky, hairy, white, knobbly-kneed, gangly, and awkward. Coach blew his whistle again. All right, you yahoos, let's see what you can do with this. And he hefted a 10-pound weight off the floor and threw it into the deep end. Dive in, then push or carry the weight as far as you can without coming up for air. Once you surface, that's your distance. Robbie Dean, you're up. Oh, that was a fast 10 minutes, white guy. Okay, so that ends actually the third reading section that we've done. So I'm going to stop the videotape, and then I'm going to start another one. Okay, see you soon.